What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing a tier list in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. And this is going to be a tier list of the best Amethyst and Ruby cards in the game. So, we have quite a few cards right here, and this is going to be obviously a mostly budget squad or budget tier list. So a lot of these guys are cheap, and honestly a lot of these guys are good cards. There are some very underrated cards on this list, to be completely honest. Starting off with Brian Russell. Brian Russell, as far as Amethyst go, like if I'm looking at a 30 and D wing, I'm taking Brian Russell over. I mean, he's number one. He really is number one. He's going S tier. We have got S tier for Brian Russell. I believe that that is a fine spot for him. Again, a lot of people are going to say, oh, Brian Russell's not as good. For me, he is. For me, he well and truly is. Like, I use him in my main squad for quite a while. If I'm out there playing limited, if there's weekends where we can use Amethyst, I'm using Amethyst Brian Russell. If there's weekends where we can use Rubies, I'm using Ruby Brian Russell. Again, 25 steals is a little bit awkward to get, but a fantastic player. So he is going here in S tier. Jared Jack, A tier. Jared Jack would have, no question about it, like 3 or 4 weeks ago been S tier. The problem is with Jared Jack is there's just so many insanely good cards that have come out, especially at that point guard position. Like, the point guard position has now gone absolutely crazy. Like, there are so many ridiculously good cards at that point guard position. So for that reason, like, I can't put him over A tier. Although he's got absolutely incredible jump shot. The release is fantastic in my opinion, and as well as that, he's just an all-around good card. Like I don't think too many people are going to complain about his defense. He's a little bit small, but I think that's really his only problem. Smudge Parker, S tier. Smudge Parker, like, I had Jared Jack in like all of my. He might have been the best below Diamond. He might have been the best Amethyst point guard in the game, and then Smudge Parker came out. There's levels to it, and Smudge Parker is a level above. Like, Jared Jack's in the conversation with like, with Fultz. He was in that conversation, and I know a lot of people would have had Fultz higher than Jack. A lot of people, like myself, had Jack higher than Fultz, but Smudge Parker, Trey Burke base, Curry slide, he's a beast. Ronnie Brewer. I mean, if he had range, he'd be perfect. I'm gonna put him A. Again, he's not, like, if you play 21 delay, it doesn't make much of a difference because he's got everything perfect except for the fact he's got no range. Like, his jumper's unbelievably good, his handle's good, he can curry, he's fantastic. Al Harrington, C tier. Al Harrington offensively he's good offensively on next gen. He's not great on current gen in general because he can't shoot from the corners. But no clamps kind of kills this card. Yes, he's got range. He's probably the worst card in that Chinese New Year set or the Lunar New Year set. So I'm going to put Harrington in C tier. If you want to move him to B, I'm good with that, but I'm going to put him in C. Amare Stoudemire. He's not terrible, but he's also not good. He's part of the agenda, or not the agenda. He's like one of the story time, or what do you even call them? Like the XP grinding cards. He's basically one of the cards on track to D-Rob, and he's not bad. I've used him a few times. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Bargnani, who I'm going to put in the same tier. I liked Bargnani a lot more at start here than I do now. Amare, literally, he doesn't feel any difference than his Pink Diamond. Like, he really doesn't. Like, I have Amare's Pink Diamond, and he does not feel any different to Amare Amethyst. Which, I don't know if that's a good or if it's a bad sign on the Pink Diamond or a good sign for the Amethyst. But they feel very similar. I think I'd take Bargnani over him, but that's not, like, I don't think I'd actively choose to use either of them. Then we have got Aaron Aflalo. Aflalo is A tier. Aflalo, the whole thing with Aflalo is that his release is just iffy. Like, it's not awful. Like, it's greenable. It's just kind of slow. It's not great. It's not great. Like, I've used him plenty of times in squads. I've used him in budget squads. He's a more than usable card. He's got half clamps. Like, his stats-wise, he's better than Cam Reddish. It's just a release. Like, if Aflalo had a good release, he without doubt would be S tier. But he just doesn't. Austin Crozier. S tier. It's mad, we haven't gotten to any of the bad players yet, but man, Austin Crocier, this guy right here, he is a sniper. Like, he made my power, like, on my power forward list, he was an honorable mention. Like, he didn't necessarily, like, he didn't make the list, and I think there were guys, like, he's maybe in the top 15, 16 power forwards in the game, which is crazy for a dude who's 1k MT. He's like a worse version of Danilo Gallinari. So he's got good length. His shooting is insane. Like, a lot of people really, I think, have underrated the shooting ability of Crocier. Actually, sorry, a lot of people have underrated everything but the shooting ability. Everyone knows the shooting's insane, but the guy's got an 85 driving dunk, good length, good ball handle, good speed. His overall game is insane. He's not just a shooter, and a lot of people think he's just a shooter. And then we got Bailey Howell. Is he in the worst 5? He's not in the worst. He's no way he's in the worst 5 cards on the list. D tier though. He's definitely a tier below these guys. Bailey Howell's good though. Like, Bailey Howell, well, not necessarily is good. He was good. He came out like week 2. Literally, he came out week 2 of the game, and he was a sniper. He was the best power forward in the game when he came out. So, like, again, you gotta give props to the guy for that. Like, he was probably the best at what he did when he first came out. It's just unfortunate that there are a lot of cards that do what he does a lot better right now, because he did come out quite a long time ago. Bingo Smith. Bingo is the same. Bingo was really good when he came out. The only problem with Bingo Smith is that, like, I mean, he just got outclassed quickly, didn't he? He really just got outclassed. There are a lot of good cards in the game. He's one of them. There are just better players than Bingo Smith, unfortunately, so he's D tier. Bars Dio. Dio is a tier above those guys. I don't care what anyone says, especially if you got juiced up Dio. Like, I remember there used to be like 5 Hall of Fame badge Boris Diaz floating around, like, back in the day, because Diaz was that good. He really was ahead of his time. He really was ahead of his time. My Diaz on one of my accounts is still pretty juiced. Like, I got range, I got quick first step on him. I got a lot of good badges on him. I badged him for 250 the first qualifier, and then got error coded. Bit of a disaster. Sure, look, it is what it is. I just realized I don't have Ewing in here, do I? Ewing would probably be in. Ewing would be B tier, probably. Ewing would definitely be B tier. I'm just trying to have a look at centers. Yeah, Ewing would be B tier. Then we have got Brad Dougherty. I mean, he's not absolutely awful. He's C tier. I put him on a similar level to Bargnani and Amari, but he's not great, so that's why he's going C tier. Not really much to say about him. He's kind of there. Then we have got Bryant Scallobrini. Scallobrini's A tier. Scal is class. Like, I'm a huge fan of this Scallobrini card. I don't think he's got that many flaws. I think he's got, again, a lot of very, very good things going for him. His jumper is fantastic. His defense is a lot better than people think. And yeah, like, he's not perfect. He's not the greatest card in the world, but as far as budget players go, I mean, until we got that, until we got the Crocier card, without question, Scallobrini was the best budget power forward. And for his price, like, Scallobrini's only something like, see, like 2.5k MT. Like, you can't go wrong with 2.5k MT. That's all I'm going to say. You cannot go wrong with that. So yeah, Brian Scallobrini A tier. It's just Crocier's just objectively a better version of Scallobrini. So that is why I have got Austin Crocier in there instead of Scallobrini. Bruce Bowen's going, or Clark Kellogg, no, he's a tier below. Clark Kellogg's not unusable. I've used him in the squad. He's actually not unusable. But Clark Kellogg's like a worse version of Stoudemire. Bruce Bowen's B tier. Bowen's overall game is not great. Doesn't have range, but you know what he can do? He can lock up the other team, a really good player on the other team, and he hit wide open threes. Still to this day, he hits wide open threes. Is he a great card? Nope. Not at all. Is he a flawed card? 100%. Like, this guy is not going to do much in terms of the offense. He can't dribble, but he can play defense. He can hit wide open threes. So, I mean, he's B tier. Corey Brewer. I mean, Brewers got some things going for him. I'm going to put him in B tier as well. I used him in a game and I didn't like him. I get it, he's a 6'9" wing. Like I don't think he's got range. He's not a bad card by any means, but not a great card either. So that is why he's going into B tier. We're 10 minutes in, so I'm going to throw in some of the lower tier players. So let's see who the worst guys on this list are. Okay, so I might have to move a few of these guys from the second lowest tier down, because I'm looking and I'm like, are any of these guys really, really bad? I'm not sure. Like, I don't like Kyrie, but he's not objectively bad. I don't particularly like Mitchell Robinson, but he's not objectively bad. Rudy Simjanovic is as good as any of those guys in D tier, so I might have to move some dudes down. So Kellogg, you go down. Bailey Howell, you were a god. Keyword is were. You're going into worthless tier. You're moving down. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way the list looks right now. So now, are there any guys that are at that bottom tier? Not Nick Anderson. Definitely none of these guys. You can argue if I had Simvular here, he'd be there. I mean, Valanciunas is like D tier. I don't like Valanciunas isn't as bad as people say. He's not good either. Like if you want to, like if you're trying to argue that Valanciunas is usable, that's fine. Almost all of these cards are usable. But he's not very good. Okay. Mitchell Robinson, I get it, he's fast. I'm gonna put Mitchell Robinson in C tier. I'm gonna put Dikembe Mutombo in D tier. Because I think Dikembe Mutombo is like a worse version of that Mitchell Robinson card. So I think they're very, very similar in terms of like their shot blocking ability. It's just Mitchell Robinson is, in terms of just speed, he's a lot faster. He is a lot faster than Dikembe Mutombo. So now we are on to D'Angelo Russell. I mean, D'Lo's offense is so nice. Curry slide, good player build, 6'5". Like he can create. And when he came out, man, I remember we were playing for Richard Jefferson on Christmas Eve. And it was the stream. Well, like anyone who was in my stream on Christmas Eve remembers the Christmas Eve stream. I literally won like 15 games straight of TTO using D'Angelo Russell. I won like 15 straight games using him, and it was literally just him taking every shot. So that's like how OP he was at the time, but obviously not great now, but still B tier. Fox, badged up Fox is B tier. I like badged up Fox. Fox isn't good non-badged up, but I like badged up Fox. Then we got Dino Raja, S tier. The best below diamond center, and is not even close. Is he the best? I mean, he's just below pink diamond center. Dino is a god. Dino is an actual god in game. One of my favorite players, like legitimately one of my favorite centers. I still use him to this day. He is so good. He is so good. I can do everything. Once you put gold clamps on him, can play defense. Donovan Mitchell, B tier. He was great for his time. He really was. He really was elite for his time. Drazen Petrovic. I mean, I might have to change tiers around, but Drazen A tier. I'm gonna do that. I like Drazen. I'm gonna keep him this tier. His defense is good. Gold clamps. Well, his defense is passable. He's also got the half range. Funnily enough, this 91 overall is way better than his 94 overall. And he's a card that I am most definitely a fan of. Well, most definitely a fan of the card more than most people are anyway. But yeah, so then we got Ilyasova, Paul Pierce base, can't shoot from the corners on current gen, but it's cash. Also can't shoot period on next gen. It's one of the most broken releases in the game. B tier for Ilyasova. Good, moderately fast with goal range though. S tier Felipe Lopez. I'm putting, yeah, he's S tier. He can play at the 2. If Felipe Lopez didn't have as great like length wingspan wise, like he's got a 7'1" wingspan. He's an absolutely god tier budget 2 guard. If he could not play the 2, he would be an A tier. But he can play the 2 and he can play it effectively. He's not as good as Smush, and there's another guy that a better point guard, but yeah, he's going A tier. Gary Harris, Bruce Bowen tier, C tier. Like, I mean, Gary Harris is a moderately good, he's a mediocre offensive player. Like, he hits wide open catch and shoots, but he's a good defender. So is Bruce Bowen, though. Needed him a quick first step, so he's going that tier. Then we have God Gervin, B tier. I like Gervin. I don't think he's that much worse than the pink dime. He's just slower. Got a lot of key badges. Release is pretty good. I just don't think he's as good as Drazen. I really don't. I've used him. I do not think he is as good as Drazen Petrovic. Although, again, he is a card that for free, he's fine. With how much easier he was to get than like Manu Ginobili or Jared Allen, he's definitely one of the ones I say, you know what, if you're on a budget, just go out and get the card. But yeah, he's going into B tier. Then we got Gerald Wallace. I mean, he's B. Gerald Wallace is decent. You can put badges on him. His release is good. His defensive stance is good. Yeah, Gerald Wallace is going to B tier. Glenn Robinson, B. No range sender. Apparently, he has a better release on current gen than Ronnie Brewer. I've not used Glenn on current gen. He's release absolutely awful on next gen. Like, if we're talking next gen, he's B tier. And again, I haven't used him on current gen, so I can't speak about him there. But he's like a worse Ronnie Brewer. For me, he's like a worse Ronnie Brewer. No range sender. Yes, he got the Curry slide. If his release is good on current gen, you know what? Put him into A. I've not used him on current gen, so I can't speak on it. So B tier. Then we hit Dirk Galoo. I mean, he does not better. He's no better than Al Harrington, except for the fact he can dribble a little bit better. Although, if they go and give Hito like the AK treatment or the Lamar Odom treatment and give him either Paul George base or like 98, or you know what, they might give him the Luka Doncic treatment and give him X and base on his next card. The way Hito moves is different. Hito moves, I don't know, maybe it's his dribble style, it's his height, but Hito moves differently to everybody else I've used. I'm telling you, there's just something about Hito. He's a beast. Bonga. I mean, just for his uniqueness, being a 6'8" budget point guard, I can't put Bonga lower than this. He's just such a unique card. So I'm going to put him in the S tier. 6'8" point guard. He can curry. He can shoot. He's got a decent between the legs. He dunks on everybody. He can get all the shooting badges. Doesn't come with them, but he get them. Yeah, Bonga's really good. Jared Allen. The center position kind of sucks. It really sucks for budget players. And Jared Allen's good. And I have the card. I actually really like him. He was not that hard to grind. He really was not that hard to grind. Like, I think it was like, I got him within about an hour. And that was while doing other stuff. Like, he's really not much of a grind. But Jared Allen, he's a good shooter. He's a good rebounder. He's fast. He blocks shots. Decent player build. And as much as anything, his card art's incredible. So, and like for me anyway, card art makes a difference. It's the reason why I hate that Steve Nash card, but card art makes a quite significant difference for me anyway. So, we got Jared Allen right here in A tier. Then we have got Joe Harris. Joe Harris is A tier. Simply put, Joe Harris is A tier. He's a sniper. He's a sniper. He plays really good defense. Like, a lot of people prefer other cards to Joe Harris. Not me. I'm a massive fan of this Joe Harris card. Like, if we're talking all Ruby players, Joe Harris might be he's one of the first names on my team sheet. Like, if we're talking about a Ruby squad, like Joe Harris, 6'6", 95 3 ball, got a good ball handle as well, got a 78 steal, 84 perimeter defense, and he's got 84 lateral. And also, am I right in saying, I'm gonna check this now, but does he come with gold or half range? Gold range, but still, his release is what puts him into A tier over B tier. Jonathan Isaac, I mean, just for his length and versatility at that Ruby tier, he's A tier. Like, he's a sniper. He's a sniper when he's open, in my opinion. If you hate his release, you might struggle with him, but the way he plays lanes is great. I prefer this guy. I'd like to think that, I'm be honest. I don't think he's as good as Austin Crozier. Like, he no longer makes my team. And even somebody that's not on this list, like a Kyle Anderson. I completely forgot Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson's Amethyst is probably S tier. But yeah, he's probably better than Isaac as well. Alright, let's try to fill out some of these bottom tiers, because I can't just have 2 guys in the bottom tier. Walt Williams could be good, but he's got the broken Pau Gasol release, so I'm going to put him in worthless there. At that release, actually no, you know what, he's good other than that. Rudy Tomjanovic, I'm sorry, he sucks. He absolutely sucks. Do any of these guys suck? Am I really going to have to move Bingo Smith down to worthless? I think I am. I'm going to have to move Bingo down. Brad, you're going down as well. You 2 guys are going down, because I'm going to put Nick Anderson into C tier right here. So Nick Anderson's gone to C tier. We're moving a few of these guys that don't really bring anything on offense down to D tier. Kobe Bryant, or Klay Thompson, B tier. Kobe Bryant, I mean, if you badge up Kobe, you can make an argument that he's S. You really can. But one guy you can't argue isn't S is Kevin Porter Jr. He's elite. He is absolutely elite, lads. KPJ, man, his jumper is so sweet. Like, there's a reason why you're seeing the guy you'll be seeing the guy around every budget squad. Like, he'll be a must for limited later on. The guy's so good. The guy is so good in this game. He's got JR release, lefty, Curry slide, can dunk, got the quick dribble style. I'm telling you, God tier, absolute God tier. Then we have got Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes with quick first step is A tier. Like, he doesn't come with quick first step, but like, if you give him the quick first step badge, like, I'm judging Kobe based on range Kobe. Range Kobe's S tier. Brian Russell, you're going down one. As much as I love Brian Russell, you're not as good as range Kobe. And these 2 wings are better. But yeah, Killian Hayes can curry. He's got really good stats. He's got a fantastic release, especially on next gen. Only problem is no quick first step. But he definitely belongs in A tier. Okay, so let's fill out some of these other tiers. Kyrie Irving, C tier. Really hate that card. I really hate that card. Mike Miller, wherever Nick Anderson is, he's basically just another Nick Anderson. I like Mike Miller. Don't get me wrong, I've used him and I like him just like I like Nick Anderson. It's like Hito's down here in C tier. But yeah, I think C tier is where he belongs. Taco Fall, Cheese Ball, Compose with people on current gen, he's just too slow to be useful, so unfortunately, Taco, you're going into D tier. Then we have got, I'm trying to see who's kind of lower. Serge Ibaka, 1 tier ahead of like a Bargnani. Ibaka, you're going B tier. You can argue Ibaka over Ilyasova. I just prefer Ilyasova, so I'm going to put him there. Thon Maker. I mean, if we're talking next gen, Thon Maker's higher. Current gen, he's a little bit weak. But I think later on in the year, we're going to get a really good Thon Maker card. Xavier McDaniel, wherever Gerald Wallace is. Wesley Matthews. I mean, in a way, he's better than Clay, but he's only got bronze range. Actually, no. Clay's objectively better. Yeah, Wes going to C tier. Wes isn't bad, though. Wes is not bad. Bad at all. Sean Kemp, 1 tier above Ibaka. Kemp going into B tier for Biggs. Kemp can dunk on everybody, but it's just he plays no defense. And that is a bit of a problem. Like, it's probably the highest you can be without playing playing like a defense. And we got MPJ. MPJ, I'm putting in A tier. Actually, you know what? Clamps MPJ. If we are judging Bonga at his best, Kobe at his best, we got to judge MPJ at his best. MPJ at his best is so good. Like, again, he creates his shot so well. He shoots really well. He dunks it well. He plays lanes well because he's 6'10". Yeah, he needs a clamps badge. Not the biggest deal in the world in next gen. The craziest thing about MPJ is like, this is a very common team you see. If you're playing unlimited, 4 opals and Michael Porter Jr. or 2 opals and Michael Porter Jr. in TTO. and they run everything through MPJ and they destroy you. Like, that is a common thing. Like, there is nothing that strikes fear in me. It's like back in the day when you used to see all pink diamond squads and Hito Turkoglu. Like, that used to strike fear in you. Like, that really used to strike fear in you. When someone would run all the best players in the game and then they'd have, like, Amethyst Hito sitting there. Like, that is the way I feel about MPJ. If you see MPJ just on a God Squad team, you know for a fact they're running through everything through MPJ and they're going to destroy you with them. Then we got Fultz. A. Yeah, Fultz is A tier. Fultz was like the original God tier budget point guard. Like, again, like, I'll say it again. I think he's not that far off Baron Davis. But he dunks it very well. He shoots from deep really well. Carried me through a few weeks of limited. Yeah, I overpaid for him. I think I paid 15k for him. Does not matter. Fultz was good for a certain amount of time, and he really did carry me. And we got Ronald Murray, Flip Murray, S. Flip Murray is like slightly better. Smush Parker. Flip Murray, Smush Parker, Felipe. I'm trying to think what the best like lineup would be. Like, we got, obviously, Dino's our one big, and I'm not, even though normally I like to put a full lineup, I'm not putting another big in S tier. That doesn't exist. But, like, I'm going to make probably like a 20k lineup later. I mean, Ronald Murray, Kevin Porter Jr., Felipe Lopez, Crozier, Michael Porter Jr. Those 5 guys all should be like mainstays on a squad under like 30-40k. And Murray and Smush Park are very similar. Smush has got more badges, but Murray's got half quick first steps, so that's why I'm going to put him slightly ahead. We got Bamba. You know what? I don't think he's Dino. I'm going to put him S tier. And Dumboya. I really like Sekou Dumboya. I'm going to put him in A tier. Dumboya is a beast. Dumboya is so good. And his release, he made me realize how important uppers are in releases, because Aaron Gordon base is garbage on Aaron Gordon release, but it's so nice on Sekou. And Bamba, really, because there's just no other good cheap centers. Like, the center position is lagging behind. Like, at the power forward position, you got Crozier. Kyle Anderson would be an S tier, but unfortunately I forgot to put him on the list. You got Crozier, you got Kyle Anderson at the power forward position. You got a couple of diamond guys that are coming in cheap. But at that center position, you really got Mo Bamba. And then you're paying 20k for Dino Raja. Like, you really got Mo Bamba, then you're going for like Jared Allen. Like, you're really not getting much for cheap. Like Kemp, Ewing, really just genuinely weak players at that position. So yeah, that is pretty much it. This is the tier list of the best Ruby and Amethyst cards in NBA 2K20 on MyTEAM. Let me know what you guys think, what you guys agree with, what you guys don't agree with. And as always, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.